This is the region of southern Africa. The red dots mark the shooting locations for this journey. Kruger National Park in South Africa at 7,500 square miles is one of the largest game reserves in Africa. Hwange National Park is the largest game reserve in Zimbabwe. In 2015, Cecil, a lion who lived in this reserve, was illegally killed. Impalila Island Lodge in Namibia is located at the confluence of the Chobe and Zambezi rivers. Chobe National Park in Botswana has one of the largest concentrations of game in Africa and is the most biologically diverse. The Okavango Delta in Botswana is an inland delta formed in the Kalahari Desert. Small bush planes are used to fly over and into the delta. The Okavango River drains the summer rainfall in January and February from the Angola highlands. The waters spread, the flood peaking between June and August, attracting numerous animals and creating one of Africa's greatest concentrations of wildlife within this 5,000 square mile oasis in the Kalahari. The bush plane lands on a small dusty landing strip for transport to a small boat and then an island campsite. Members of the camp staff greet the arrivals. Sleeping under canvas is one of the highlights of the African experience. The challenge is attempting to match the sounds with their source. It is an African wildlife symphony. The rustic Sable Sands Lodge is located on the outskirts of Hwange National Park, Zimbabwe's largest game reserve, and home to some 40,000 elephants. The main gazebo includes a dining area, lounge, library and bar, with wonderful views of an adjacent waterhole. Elephants and other wildlife wander freely through the unfenced grounds. Where does a group of thirsty pachyderms get a refreshing morning drink? In the lodge's swimming pool, of course. Food at the Impalila Island Lodge is superb and internationally inspired, and service is relaxed and friendly. Fishermen move about in their Mokoro dugout canoes. They are setting their nets and are seen here catching tilapia. This is an outstanding area for spotting and photographing water birds. Sights along the river include women carrying cane that they have cut and bound for use in roofing and fencing. It is school recess at a local village. The students line up to have their photo taken. A brief break in the morning's lesson for a photo. Two young scholars listen to their teacher. Attention please, students. The women of the village are preparing a meal, while the men share with us some of their tribal customs and traditions. Dr. Livingstone, I presume? These were the words of the American newspaperman Henry Morton Stanley, who went on assignment to find Livingstone, who had been missing for 6 years in the African bush. Livingstone was a Scottish pioneer, medical missionary, and explorer. He is believed to have been the first European to see Victoria Falls. His remains are interred in London at the Westminster Abbey. Due to its large scale, the falls are best photographed from the air. Victoria Falls is over 350 feet high and a mile wide and is the world's largest sheet of falling water. It has been described by CNN as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It is seen here at the end of the dry season when the volume of water is at a low point. The Victoria Falls Bridge connects Zimbabwe, formerly Southern Rhodesia, with Zambia, formerly Northern Rhodesia, and spans the Zambezi River at a height of 420 feet. It was opened in 1905. Time for tea and crumpets at this beautiful old British colonial hotel. High tea is the order of the day. Safari vehicles in southern Africa have no windows or doors, giving unobstructed access to the wildlife. The common name impala comes from a Zulu word. Females are hornless and somewhat smaller than males, which bear horns. This is an important prey species for several carnivores such as cheetah, leopards, and lions. The lechwe is found in the wetlands of South Central Africa in marshy areas. The waterbuck is a large sedentary antelope. A gregarious animal, it may form herds of 6 to 30 individuals. Only males bear horns. Wildebeest belong to the family which includes antelope, cattle, goats, sheep, and other even-toed hoofed animals. Some populations are migratory, whereas others are sedentary. Sable antelope live in savanna woodlands and grasslands. The young males, which have been separated from the herd, seen here, associate in bachelor groups of up to 12 individuals. The most dominant of these is the first to join a new group of females when the position is open. When sable antelopes are threatened by predators, including lions, they confront them using their scimitar-shaped horns. Many big cats have been injured or killed during such encounters. The greater kudu is one of the largest species of antelope, bulls weighing up to 600 pounds. Dominance is established through sparring. Solitary males will join a group of females and calves only during the mating season, which is April and May in South Africa. Gestation takes about 8 months. Females do not bear horns. Oxpeckers perch on large wild and domesticated animals. An adult will ingest 100 blood-engorged female ticks or more than 12,000 larvae in one day, and will also peck on a mammal's wounds to feed on blood. In addition to interesting behavioral research on natural populations, vervet monkeys serve as a non-human primate model for understanding genetic and social behaviors of humans. They have been noted for having human-like conditions such as hypertension, anxiety, and social and dependent alcohol use. The most significant studies done on vervet monkeys involve their communication and alarm calls, regarding kin and group recognition, and predator sightings. Play fighting is a behavioral mechanism for establishing dominance. The Chacma baboon is one of the largest of all monkeys. Located primarily in southern Africa, it has a wide variety of social behaviors, including dominance hierarchy, collective foraging, adoption of young, and friendship pairings. These behaviors form parts of a complex evolutionary ecology. Mature males weigh up to 100 pounds and have sizable canine teeth. Adoption behavior has been observed in this species, where orphan baboons are adopted by another member of the group. Adoption behavior includes sleeping close to the orphaned infant, grooming and carrying the orphan, and protecting it from harassment by other members of the troop. The Nile crocodile is an opportunistic apex predator and a very aggressive species that is capable of taking almost any animal within its range. They are generalists, taking a variety of prey. This species is an ambush predator that can wait for extended periods of time for the suitable moment to attack. The Nile crocodile is responsible for hundreds of human deaths every year. Agamas are small insect-eating lizards. Their insect-like front teeth are designed for quick cutting and chewing of their prey. The monitor lizard can grow up to 7 or more feet in length. It is the second largest river reptile. Exceptionally large specimens may weigh up to 44 pounds. There are almost 900 species of birds living in southern Africa. The southern carmine bee-eater is a migratory species spending the breeding season between August and November in Zimbabwe before leaving for South Africa for the summer months, and then migrating to equatorial Africa from March to August. Its diet is primarily bees and other flying insects. Bee-eaters consume a wide variety of insects. The giant honeybee is a particularly common prey species. In the open treetops, these birds run along tree limbs and jump from branch to branch. They form groups that forage for fruit and insects near the treetops. The magpie shrike catches most of its prey on the ground, but flying insects are sometimes caught in mid-air. The yellow-bellied bulbul is a species of songbird whose natural habitat is subtropical or tropical moist lowland forests. The wattled lapwing plover is a common breeder in wet lowland habitats. It picks insects and other invertebrates from the ground. African jacanas feed on insects and other invertebrates picked from floating vegetation on the surface of the water. Its elongated digits enable it to spread its weight and walk on lily pads, thus its nickname, the lily trotter. The African darter often swims with only its head and neck above water, hence its common name, snakebird. It dives for fish and is closely related to the American anhinga. The African fish eagle is a large species of eagle which, though it subsists mainly on fish, is opportunistic and may take a wider variety of prey, such as water birds. Its distinctive cry evokes the spirit of Africa. The battler, or short-tailed eagle, is a medium-sized eagle closely related to the snake eagles. Birds such as pigeons and sandgrouse are preferred prey, though it may attack small mammals and take carrion. This eagle is diurnal and hunts over a territory of about 250 square miles. This is the smallest raptor on the African continent at about the size of a pigeon. Its diet consists of large insects, small reptiles, and rodents. The Martial eagle is the largest eagle in Africa, with a wingspan of up to 8.5 feet. This is an apex predator at the top of the avian food chain and has few natural predators. It is particularly fond of snakes, including cobras, mambas, puff adders, and rock pythons. The helmeted guinea fowl is a gregarious species forming flocks of about 25 birds that also roost communally. They are territorial and prone to run rather than fly when alarmed. This bird consumes large quantities of ticks. Guinea fowl can survive 10 to 20 years in the wild. This is one of the smaller hornbill species. The male seals the female and her eggs in a tree hole with mud. The male supplies food to the female and chicks through a small hole in the mud. The yellow-billed hornbill is a common, medium-sized hornbill that feeds mainly on the ground, where it forages for seeds, insects, spiders, and scorpions. The bill is used as a pair of forceps. Food is grasped at the tips and then tossed back into the throat. This is the largest species of hornbill. It forages on the ground where it feeds on reptiles, frogs, snails, insects, and mammals up to the size of a hare. In South Africa, it is listed as endangered. Kites are small to medium-sized raptors, diverse in shape and size. The yellow-billed kite often arrives in South Africa before the start of the rainy season. It departs in March after the last summer rains. This species relies on termites as its major food source, though it is an opportunistic feeder with a diverse diet ranging from puff adders to fish. The Cape glossy starling is a gregarious bird which forages on the ground for food along with other starling species. Its diet includes fruit, insects, and nectar. Lilac-breasted rollers are almost unmistakable with their bright, colorful plumage. The sexes are alike in coloration. Males and females are protective of their nest and will fly in a rolling pattern as a territorial display. Secretary birds consume snakes, other reptiles, amphibians, tortoises, rats, small mammals, and game birds. This is a huge stork with a wingspan of over 8 feet. This species feeds mainly on fish, frogs, and crabs. The yellow-billed stork appears to rely mainly on a sense of touch rather than vision to detect and capture prey. Contact between bill and prey is followed by a rapid reflex whereby the bird snaps shut its mandibles, raises its head, and swallows the prey whole. This is the world's largest heron. It stands 5 feet tall and has a 7.5-foot wingspan. These are solitary foragers and are highly territorial. Prey consists almost entirely of fish. A proficient predator of fish, this species forages from a perch or while hovering, then plunging into the water and seizing the target in its bill. Like other vultures, this is a scavenger feeding mostly from carcasses it finds by soaring over the savanna. Although this is a common species, its numbers are decreasing, and its conservation status is rated as critically endangered. The ostrich is the world's largest living species of bird. It is flightless and native to Africa. It can weigh up to 350 pounds. The plain zebra is a highly social species, forming harems with a single stallion, several mares, and their recent offspring. Mares may give birth to one foal every 12 months. Bachelor groups exist until they are ready to start a harem. Bachelors prepare for their adult roles with play fights to establish dominance. The giraffe is the tallest land animal at 18 feet. They usually inhabit savannas and open woodlands. Male giraffes use their necks as weapons in combat, a behavior known as necking. This behavior is used to establish dominance, and the dominant males have greater reproductive success. Giraffes have a lifespan of up to 25 years in the wild. The name hippopotamus comes from the ancient Greek for river horse. They are among the largest living land mammals. Hippos are very aggressive toward humans, whom they sometimes attack whether in boats or on land, and are widely considered one of the most dangerous large animals in Africa. Yawning is regarded as a threat display. The banded mongoose lives in colonies with a complex social structure. They are seen around the dung of large herbivores as it attracts beetles which are part of their diet. Warthogs are wild pigs. Their tusks are used for digging, for combat with other hogs, and in defense against predators. The lower set can inflict severe wounds. The black-backed jackal is an ancient species which has changed little since the Pleistocene. The average lifespan in the wild is 7 years. Adults have few natural predators except for leopards, caracals, painted dogs, and martial eagles. The painted dog is a highly social animal living in packs with separate dominance hierarchies for males and females. Its prey is antelope, which it catches by chasing them to exhaustion. It is classified as endangered as it has disappeared from much of its former range. The spotted hyena is the most social of the carnivores in that it has the largest group sizes and most complex social behaviors. This is a highly successful species, being one of the most common large carnivores in Africa. In the early 20th century, the African cheetah was widespread everywhere on the continent, but have now lost most of their ranges and have disappeared from 23 countries. The term Big Five game was coined by big game hunters and refers to the 5 most dangerous animals to hunt on foot. The African lion and bush elephant are both classified as vulnerable. The African leopard and white rhinoceros are both classified as near threatened. The black rhinoceros and northern white rhinoceros are both classified as critically endangered, so hunting them is greatly restricted. The Cape buffalo, nicknamed the Widowmaker, is widely regarded as a very dangerous animal, as it gores and kills over 200 people every year. Buffaloes are sometimes reported to kill more people in Africa than any other animal, though the same claim is also made of hippos and crocodiles. Other than humans, Cape buffaloes have few predators aside from lions and are capable of defending themselves. The black rhinoceros is classified as critically endangered. The rhinoceros dates back 50 million years to the Eocene epoch. Their horns are used for defense, intimidation, and digging up roots. The black rhinoceros has a prehensile upper lip and is a browser. Black rhinos have poor eyesight and rely more on hearing and smell. The gestation period of this species is 15 to 16 months, and its life expectancy in natural conditions is 35 to 50 years. The The white rhinoceros is the largest living species of rhinoceros. This species has a distinctive, broad, straight mouth which is used for grazing. Adult white rhinos have no natural predators due to their size. The bush elephant is the largest living terrestrial animal. These elephants are walking across the bottom of the Chobe River while extending their trunks above water to breathe. This is possible during the dry season when water levels are lower. The second set of incisors become the tusks, and the large, flat ears enable heat loss. At about 40 to 60 years of age, elephants lose the last of their molars, at which time they will likely die of starvation. The gestation period of elephants is 22 months, and fertile females usually give birth every 3 to 6 years. Leopards are nocturnal, solitary, and secretive in their habits. They have an exceptional ability to adapt to changes in prey availability. They generally focus their hunting activity on locally abundant, medium-sized hoof species, while opportunistically taking other prey. The most difficult challenge in photographing a leopard is finding one. Leopards often cache large kills in trees, a behavior for which great strength is required. This behavior is to prevent loss of the kill to lions and hyenas. Leopards are very stealthy and like to stalk close and run a relatively short distance after their prey. They kill through suffocation by seizing their prey by the throat and biting down with their powerful jaws. They rarely fight other predators for food. Adult males are almost entirely solitary, and males and females are only found together during mating season. After a gestation period of 90 to 105 days, 1 to 4 cubs are born. Cub mortality rates during the first year may be as high as 50%. Leopards are becoming increasingly rare outside protected areas, and the population is decreasing. Lions are the second largest living feline species after the tiger, which is not indigenous to Africa. The lion population in Africa has been reduced by half since the early 1950s. Though lions used to live in most parts of Africa, they are now found only in the South Sahara Desert and in parts of southern and eastern Africa. Lions within a pride are often affectionate, and when resting, engage in much touching, head rubbing, licking, and purring. The males are territorial and will roar and use scent markings to establish their domain. A lion's roar can be heard over a distance of 5 miles. Females do most of the hunting. They are mainly nocturnal and work in teams to stalk and ambush prey. Lions are facing an indirect threat from climate change called co-infection. Lions periodically face outbreaks of distemper and usually survive with little mortality. However, recent outbreaks have caused massive die-offs. The key factor is drought. Weakened prey become tick-infested, which in turn infests the lions, weakening them. Droughts are to become more commonplace as the climate warms. lioness may mate with more than one male when she is in heat. The average gestation period is about 110 days, the female giving birth to a litter of 1 to 4 cubs.